sticking on high school stuff though. Our way too early spring outlook. Who do you guys got for this? All right, Dan, go ahead.
Let me get in here first, real quick, before somebody takes it. I'm gonna go with St. Joe Ogden. They had 6 guys, 6 seniors that are committed to JUCOs. Trevor Ames, two-way, going to Morton Junior College. Bryson Hutchins, also going to Morton Junior College at first base. Will Haley, outfielder slash catcher, going to Kankakee. Asher Prumer going to Kaskaskia. Logan Rosenthal, Toolsy, outfielder, going to Heartland. And then Parker Fitch going to Lakeland. This is a very heavy team that's gonna wreak some havoc. And then also there's a 28 right-hander and Jamison Ealer, who's up to 84. Good for him. Really interested in what St. Joe Ogden can do this season. I think that they'll be a team to keep an eye on for sure.
I feel like it might be a slight miss on our part that we have now gotten to the third installment of this segment, and we have yet to mention the 4A state runner-ups from last year in McHenry. We've talked on it before. I mean, we got friend of the podcast, Caden Wisniewski, part of that team as well. But like the top 3 in their lineup, pound for pound, might be the best in the state. Well, you got Carver Cone leading it off, Landon Clements behind him, and then Caden Wisniewski behind him. Very talented squad. I think, obviously, going into this year, you lose a guy like Brandon Shannon, who was just absolutely incredible, left with multiple records at a school like McHenry that's, a really good public school. Had Bobby Miller there not too long ago as well. So, for me, I think it'll be interesting to see how they replenish that pitching staff. They had a Bryson Elbrecht last year who graduated, Zach Reedy, who I really liked when I saw him multiple times last spring as well, who graduated. So for me, I feel like that's the biggest question mark is how they're going to replenish that pitching staff. But man, they've got to be the top, if not one of the top contenders in the Fox Valley Conference. So they'll always be battle tested. It's one of the best conferences in the state. But really looking forward to seeing what they got cooking this year.
All right, I'll just hop in. I don't think I'm going to be taking any of your guys' teams here, Pete or Drew, but I'm going Ottawa Marquette. Last year's, 1A state champion. I believe they might be going up to 2A this year. I think I heard someone tell me that maybe in the fall or something, but maybe just worth double checking. I don't know that for sure. They're either going to be 1A or 2A this year, but either way, losing 4 seniors from last year's team, but they return a ton of starters. Alec Novotny, Anthony Couch, Griffin Doberstein, Caden Durden, Grant Dose, and then Easton DiBernardi. And then with that, some of those guys were their biggest arms and biggest contributors on the mound last year in Alec Novotny. Doberstein threw a ton for them, and then DiBernardi should be having a bigger role this year, I would assume. Anthony Couch threw quite a bit for them, so I think just yet again they're going to be one of the top small school teams in the state. So Ottawa Marquette there. And actually, I think, by the way, the team I might be thinking of is Father McGivney. I think they're moving up to 2A, is what someone told me this fall at one of our events, but could be wrong there.
No, yeah, you never know with the state championships and the multipliers, and sometimes they do get pushed up. I think St. Lawrence is going to be 4A. And some stuff like that. So that's why these coaches questionnaires that come in are so huge too, like letting us know, hey, what class are they going to be in 25 and if anything changed. Pete, you care if I get in here?
No, please go ahead.
All right. Well, the school that I'm going to choose, and I think Tyler, you might have caught me snooping on them earlier because I was doing some research, but in our sheet, Maine South. Coach Brian Lorenz over there. What I really like about them is, a couple of things, but they went 23-17 last year, and they made a run to the Super Sectional before losing to Libertyville. So kind of had some of that early success, got some of that playoff, taste in their mouth, and they return all 9 of their position players. And then they return a bunch of arms as well, and just kind of cheating because Coach Lorenz did, already fill out the form for us, but all of his starting pitchers return. He's got arms in the bullpen that are returning with experience as well as a newcomer ready to make an immediate impact. So, like, just some names. Jack Giannikos should be really, really good for them. He's a upper 80s, low 90s, long levered guy going to John A. Logan. Connor Griffin was good last year as well. Nick Conway's another arm they have. Sam Higgins going to Wisconsin Oshkosh. He's a left-hander that they'll have. But what I really like is like up the middle of the field. They've got Luka Stojakovic, who, shout out Luka. Like, it seems like he had a big fall, and he's a 2026 catcher that college coaches should know about. And then at shortstop, they've got Alex Valle. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Alex Valle, he's been a starter since his freshman year. I know Coach really, really likes the glove. He's a mainstay there for him. Seems like a huge piece of their team. And then they've got Nate Serra, who I've really liked, kind of throughout the whole year. He can play anywhere. He can play a corner infield. He can play an outfield spot. Peter Cortinos is the same way, kind of a utility guy that can do a lot. And then, our MVP from the Illinois State games, Evan Adamczewski, 2027, still on the board, outfield, first baseman, left-handed hitter, should hit in the middle of their lineup somewhere. And then one other guy didn't mention as an arm to watch is Russell Hangles. He's a 2027 arm as well that, big body, really dynamic stuff. Depending on what kind of jump he makes this fall, like, he could be one of the, top 2027 still on the board when it comes to next spring. He's shown flashes of really good stuff. So there's probably some guys I'm missing on there, but really high on Maine South. Love what they did last year at the end of the year, bringing a ton of guys back. I think Coach Lorenz does a great job over there as well. So keep an eye on those guys.
That's a great call out because we interviewed him last year at the convention, and one of the main talking points was like how tough their schedule was going to be. And it's kind of cool that it like played into like what he was saying is like we're going to be battle tested, and clearly it paid off. But I really like that call out. I can't believe that I am able to take this team in this position. I'm going to take Nazareth. Like, we have yet to bring them up. Yes, they lose Jaden Fauski. Obviously, that's a big loss. They lose Mac McGarry, Andrew Corus, Colin Roche, and Chase Zidlicki. But they still got Landon Tome, who is arguably the best, most polished left-handed bat in the Midwest, maybe even farther than that across the country. So they got Landon Tome. Cam Alican, one of the better outfielders in the state. Harper commit, that kid, we really liked him for a long time. He's a performer. And they got some depth on the mound. They got Connor McKay, senior future gamer, James Wasson, a future gamer, Eddie Donnelly. Like, they got some arms that we think can eat up innings for them. And then they got some younger guys that we like too, with like Gavin Hardigan. That kid's toolsy as all heck. A talented 2028. Like, Nazareth, they're going to be well coached. They're going to have depth, and they're just a team to watch every single year.
One other guy too that, just as you're talking about Naz, I was doing just slight digging on my end, like Drew Highland. I don't know if you mentioned him, but he was a guy that showed really well at our state games.
100%. Yeah,
on the
as a
mound
two-way.
as an outfielder. Yeah, exactly. 6'7" runner. He's going to Grand Valley State. So like that's the thing too, is we're doing these far too early, predictions or whatever, and there's guys that we'll miss, and like guys that'll pop up this winter, and you can't count out Nazareth, especially with the best bat in the state. So